Hello everyone, I am the Pagan Gamer, and today we're going to start our series with SMITE. Now SMITE is what they call a MOBA, massively online battle arena game. Typically the main SMITE match is a conquest mode, where you have 5 players on either side, 3 lanes, a jungle in the middle. You choose a god in SMITE based off of mythology. And today we're going to get started. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to run through the tutorial, and then we're going to look at some of the settings and some of the menu items and the UI so we get comfortable with the game. Now first, like I said, this video won't have any real gameplay in it, just a little bit of tutorial time. So let's get in here and see what we got. Alright, this is obviously the first time I've logged in. It's typical EULA and all that crap. We'll skip past it. Player name. We're going to call ourselves the Pagan Gamer today. Alright. Okay, here we go. It didn't bring me to the tutorial, so we're going to go ahead and start with that first. So we go up here to play, go to practice, and we're going to do the basic tutorial. Gets us started. And we only have one choice of god to play this time. Neith, the Weaver of Fate. She's an Egyptian goddess. Ranged physical, rolls or support carry. She has high crowd control and high sustain. So let's see what Neith is all about. Click our god, click lock in. Now we get a 9-second timer, 10-second timer. See the little banner behind her there? She'll pop down in a second. Here we go. Alright, let's see what this tutorial has for us in store.
Welcome to the battleground of the gods. Here you will learn the basic skills to help you defeat other gods. Let's begin by practicing navigation. Use the movement keys to explore your temple. You can also use your mouse to look around you. Alright,
pretty standard WASD game. Move up here past the blue bar.
Use the movement keys to explore your temple.
It's going to want us to come over here.
Journey outside of your base to continue.
And let's see what we got going at first.
Now practice attacking enemy minions. Holding down left click will let you continuously attack opponents. The blue indicator on the ground shows the firing range for your abilities. Killing enemy minions gives you both experience and gold. Very good. You may now continue on to the next area.
Alright, pretty standard so far. Blue line tells you where to shoot, how far your shoot's going to go.
You will also have a skill point to spend.
Let's look at what our abilities here. Hit K. Let's start with Spirit Arrow since it's the first ability.
Now practice using your special abilities against enemy minions.
You'll see down here at the bottom you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 activates your 1, obviously.
To use an ability, you must wait a short time to fire it again. You have leveled up.
That was pretty easy.
Each time you gain a level, you may select one ability to improve.
Let's try another ability. Well, we're level 2, so let's go for the second one, just to see what that's like.
Try using your new ability to defeat enemies.
There's a circle, tells you where it's going to go, so let's put it around those guys. Damage them and gave us health. So let's finish killing them. There we go. We're going to kill this god that just showed up. Start off with this to get some life from him. Freeze him in place. And let's kill him off.
Nice job. You are running low on mana. Use your recall button to quickly return to your fountain. Good job. Journey outside of your base to continue.
Alright, let's go to the next area. As you can see, the game's fairly straightforward so far. Tutorial pretty much tells you what to do.
Approaching enemy towers. A ring effect on the ground lets you know how close you can get before you are within range of a tower's attack. It's best to have several friendly minions around you when attacking enemy defenses. When the ground effect is red, you should retreat back behind the next wave of minions. Destroying enemy defenses gives you bonus gold. Within the dark depths of the jungle are monsters that give special bonuses. Go there now to earn one.
Let's go ahead and get our third ability now. Let's use it. Say some sort of cone here. Let's see what we got going on here.
These Furies possess a bonus that lets you regenerate mana more quickly for a short time. Defeat them now to acquire.
Hey, look at that. Let's use this ability. Oh, why is that? See this? Our ability's over that. Boom. Does damage to them, and it roots them in place for a couple seconds. There we go.
You are running low on mana. Use your recall button to quickly return to your fountain. While here, you can purchase and upgrade equipment. Open the shop window now and purchase an item from the recommended items list. Purchasing items improves your character's abilities and also provides passive benefits.
Now, when you're in the actual matches, it's going to automatically pick these items for you, and we'll get in later episodes on what we should do, what items to build and everything. But for now, I'm going to suggest that for your first couple games, you just leave it on auto buy and auto level, and I'll show you that when I go on our first match. And just let the game decide what we're going to buy. Not because it's the best thing to buy, but because it'll... Oh, look, it's attacking us. There we go. But just because it makes it simpler.
You should retreat and wait for more friendly minions to aid you.
Oh, we leveled again.
Excellent. Now go
Let's go ahead and do the Spirit Arrow again.
Destroying enemy defenses gives you bonus gold.
Oh look, it's enemy Minotaur.
Destroying the enemy Minotaur will ensure victory for your team. Unlike cows and phoenixes, the Minotaur is vulnerable to special abilities. You are victorious.
There we go, we killed our first Minotaur. Yay for us. So, that was a tutorial, pretty straightforward. I would suggest you play it the first time just to get a hang on the game itself, how to control your character. We probably won't be playing Neath for our first... Now, at the end of every match, you start off with this little victory screen of your god doing their victory dance, and you can see Neath going crazy here. We got worshippers. This match we didn't earn any because it was a tutorial practice. But what this does is as your god levels, it gets to 100 worshippers, you'll gain god rank 1, which comes necessary later, you know, if you want to unlock the gold skin, which is pretty cool. But we'll check them out. You also have a stats page here that tells you what each person's build was. And then on the third page, you have a page that tells you, you know, what level you made it to, your ratio, and other little stats. And then, of course, just to be a good-mannered player, let's wish our opponents a good game and a well played. Let's go back to the lobby and see what we got here. Alright, so on your front screen gives you a little bit of news of the game itself. We're not too terribly worried about this at the moment. There are skins you can purchase, any specials that are going on right now. And this Ultimate God Pack, I would really suggest, if you like the game after a week or so, to get it. Because this gives you every single god in the game right now, and all future gods that they're going to make. So it's a really good deal. You should look into it. And if you spend any money on the game whatsoever, you should really consider that. You have 2 free skins you can get right from the beginning. You got the Stalker skin for Artemis, which I'll show you. And then you also got the Solar Eclipse skin for Ra, just for going to Twitter and Facebook. Now, your different screens, you've got the god screens. This tells you a little bit of information about each of the gods. Right now, we can see that Tyr, he's the newest god. And then we have several gods that we can select right now, 10 as a matter of fact. The ones with the little exclamation point are the ones that are in free rotation, meaning you can play those gods for free, but they aren't yours for very long. You can, of course, you see right here where it says the little sunburst and the number. Let's say you play Ao Kuang here for a little bit, and you end up liking him, and the rotation's over, and you can no longer play him. Well, for 2,500 favor, right here, you can buy him, and you can play him forever. The same with Hades, Kali, Niza, and Zablanca. Your free gods, the gods that you own from the beginning and you can play forever: Neith, Poseidon, Ra, Thor, and Ymir. Now, what you're looking at when you mouse over each of the gods, let's start with Neith, the one we just played. Now, it says that Neith is a ranged physical type. Her roles are support and carry. Her pros are high crowd control, high sustain. Well, what do those mean? As we get into the game, we'll learn more about that, but just a real short introduction. Ranged means, of course, she uses arrows, so you could hit your opponent from a distance. Physical is the type of damage she does. You'll see here Ymir, he's a melee magical, which means he gets in there hand to hand. He swings a big club. Once this loads up here and drops. Any second now, Ymir. Ymir! Come on! Maybe he's being shy. Let's go back to Neith. And go back to Ymir again. There we go. See that big club he's got there? He uses that to bash his enemies in the face. Alright. Her roles are support and carry. She can make an excellent support player. And in her case, her support is mostly from her ultimate ability, which we'll go over. And a couple of her other abilities have an area of effect that she can use to help her friends. Whereas Ymir, he's a tank. His job is to take a lot of damage and not die. Her pros: she has high crowd control, meaning she can stun the enemy, make him move slower, and she has a high sustain. Sustain means you can stay in lane longer. You stay in lane longer, you have the upper hand. Your opponents will have to be going back, get mana, get health. You only have to go back to buy items. And usually what you want to do is you want to force your opponents to go back, push the lane a little bit so that it's in your benefit, and then go back and spend your money and buy new items. Now you'll notice we have skins here that we can find. Let's look at Mischievous. The Mischievous skin is just a different look for Neith. It could cost you 200 gems, which you can buy through the store up here, or 9,500 favor. For this series, we're going to be focusing on buying all of our gods with favor. We're not going to spend any money on it. We're only going to go with what comes for free, because who doesn't like what's free? Now, if you like the game, I would strongly suggest you spend a little bit of money so that you can support high res, but why would they make it free if it wasn't free? Alright, the next one is Misdiagnosis. Misdiagnosis is an example of what's called a premium skin. You can only get this skin if you pay the money for it. This costs you 400 gems. Let's look real fast. How much are gems going to cost us? Purchase gems. Opens up an in-game browser here. Now, this $23.99, this is the God Pack, and it's in euros. Apologize for that, but I'm stationed in Germany currently, and for now, most of my stuff shows up in the European currency. We could buy that, but we're not going to buy it on this account. So let's close this. Purchase gems. Why is it not giving me the option to purchase gems? Alright, for some reason it's not letting me select gems. I don't know why. Well, we'll have to look at that later. Alright. Then you also have the golden skin. The golden skin you can't use until you get God rank 1. So we're going to be working on that. We're going to try to get all the gold skins for all the different gods that we can in this series. Then you have the legendary skin. The legendary skin is free once you unlock the golden skin, but you can't use it until you hit God level 10. So we've got a ways until we get there with any of our gods. Alright, so now that's the god view. Let's look at overview. Overview tells you a little bit of information about your god. You can see the summary again, what type of god it is. Your details, this is what you start off with: 435 health, 230 mana. Your speed is 365. Range is 55, and you get 0.91 attacks per second. These numbers in parentheses is how much it goes up each level you get. So after 20 levels, this will have gone up, see, 0.01 times 20, do the math, maths are hard, do it later. Power, you 0, physical 35. So this right off tells us we have 0 magical power and we get 0 per level. So we're not going to be doing much magical damage. Physical, we start with 35, we get 2 per level. So we go up pretty quickly with physical power. That's 40 physical power if we get no items, for a total of 75 at level 20. Protections. We automatically get a little bit of protection without having to buy any items, and it goes up a little per each level. Now you can tell magical starts off higher. At level 20 we'll have a magic protection of 50. At level 20 we'll have a physical protection of 72. And she regenerates HP 5, means health points per every 5 seconds, I believe, and mana points per every 5 seconds. And each of them goes up. Now, we have our abilities across the bottom. You can mouse over them to look. A passive is the ability you get just for being the god. It's always active even when you first start the game. In this instance, Neith's passive is Broken Weave. It's a buff and it affects just herself. Anytime an enemy god dies, there's a Broken Weave appears on the ground. This has effect depending on her other abilities and when they're used. These weaves last for 1 minute. Now we got Spirit Arrow, the one we bought first. It's basically a stun. It'll keep your enemy in position. But it also, if you hit one of those weaves from passive, it does it in an area of effect. Unravel. Unravel is a ground target ability. You saw the circle when I was in the tutorial. This creates a circle on the ground. It'll do damage based on how many points you've spent into it so far. It does attack speed lowers for your opponents. The debuff lasts a certain amount of time depending on how many points, and it heals you plus 15% of your magic power and the number listed there. And also Weave Heal. Oh, the heal is if there's no weave in the area. If there's a broken weave, you get the Weave Heal bonus. Backflip. She flips through the air, causing a broken weave where she starts, and then she lands and damages her opponents in the area that's in front of her. You saw the cone when I went up against those harpies. Creates a stun duration, slows your opponents. And last but not least is her 4 ability, which people mostly call her ult, or ultimate. What this does, as long as you see your opponent anywhere on the map, as long as your minions or towers or friendly players can see the opponent, you can shoot your ultimate at them. This will go through everything. It may take a couple seconds to get to them, but it will eventually get to them. It does an amount of damage and stuns them in place. And you'll get to see this in action when we go into our first match. This history tells you what matches you've played, your kill-death ratio, and so on and so forth. You can change to what specific type of match you want. Items. These are the items that it recommends you start with. And for our first few matches, we're going to stay with those items. Lore will give you a story of the god. You could read that if you'd like later. Or if you're a fan of mythology, as I am, you probably already know a lot of these different gods. And then, of course, your worshippers tells you your god rank. And it tells you every 100 worshippers you get a god rank. Now that's your god screen. Let's look at your social screen. Your social screen, you have your current friends list. Right now we don't have any because this is a brand new account. Any requests that people have sent you, which at any point you guys want to, you can add me to your friends list and I'll be happy to accept it and take you perhaps on a match with me and give you some pointers and see how you play and just have fun together. Invites. This is where if anybody's requested to be your friend, it'll show up here. Now, if you want to request somebody as your friend, you can type their name in here, or later I'll show you at the end of a match how we can add them there. In this instance, let's say you wanted to add me as your friend, you would type the Pagan Gamer and press invite. Now, obviously I can't add myself, but let's add a friend of mine. Cypher Wolf. He's been playing the game for a little bit of time. He knows how to play. Let's add him. Alright, later at some point he's going to accept my request, I hope. Alright, let's move on. Block. If anybody annoys you so much that you can't stand them, you can add them to your block list. Clan is for just like any other MMO type game. You can have a clan where a group of you play together, perhaps a team that you want to do competitive gaming with, whatever. And finally, refer a friend. If you have a friend of yours that you'd like to play, You get them to refer a friend, and you get these rewards as they go up in level. Cypherwolf actually referred me to the game, so when I make level 5, Cypherwolf is going to get 250 favor. When I make level 30, Cypherwolf is going to get 2,000 favor and 200 gems. So let's see if we can get to 200 or level 30 as soon as possible, just to show our appreciation to Cypherwolf that, hey, we got him there. Finally, stats. This is all the matches you've played, your rank with the gods, and it shows all of them. You look, you see your match history. Next is guides. Here you can look at the gods and you can plan beforehand what you're going to do. Let's click on tier, and we can select any god we want to. Let's look at Neith, since that's the god we're going to be focusing on for our first match. Here she is, Neith. Now here it tells us we can set this to whatever level we want. Let's set it to 20. This is what all of her abilities are going to be at level 20. Now this parentheses here, brackets, whatever you want to call them, tells you what the maximum any stat can be. You can see my physical power, the maximum it could be is 500. With these items, this is what it would end up being at that level. Let's clear this just for a moment. This is what it's like without any items. So we'll put it back to default and leave it at that. Abilities, you can set what abilities automatically level as you go. We'll get into that later. Video tutorials. Here's some nice tutorials you could watch at some point. I'll let you do that on your own time. God guides. You can find videos on certain gods. Most of these are the god reveal themselves, which are pretty decent. Feel free to look at them later. See, apparently the tier guide isn't here, but that's okay. Community videos. All community videos that have been made. These plays of the weeks are by Anuki. You should check them out. And then the community website itself. This game uses Reddit for its forums and bulletin boards, so you can chat with other players, get some strategy, help with installing the game or fixing it, whatever. You have other websites here you can go check out. Smite Fire and Tier Monster are a couple sites I would recommend. Smite Fire and Tier Monster both have a bunch of builds that you can look at. Last but not least is Twitch. You can watch someone streaming. At times they have giveaways for free gems. You can watch it in game here if you want. Right now we got High Res Kelly streaming. You can say hello to High Res Kelly. Let's see, hello. Kelly, I am a new player. I don't think it's going to show up. Unfortunately, no. Alright, so we'll go on to the next one. Recorded, or any videos that you may have seen recorded. Broadcasting. If you have a computer strong enough to do it and you'd like to stream to Twitch, this is where you would set up, and it tells you how much broadcast time. And it might be a good idea to try it, especially if you're chasing after skins. There's a special Ymir skin that you get for streaming to Twitch. Let's go check that out real quick. We'll come back to that in a second. Ymir. Let's see. We've got his Obsidian Shard, Golden, Digimir, Cacodemon, which, if you make level 30 before the beta's over, you get the Cacodemon skin. Last but not least, not last, there's also a legendary skin, which goes along with the gold, and then finally the Twitch Ymir. Let's let this load up real quick. Apparently our computer, there we go, there's Twitch Ymir. The purple skin, and look at this, you spin him around, he's got the Twitch on the back. Ain't that nice? Alright, let's go back to this, look at friends now. Any of your friends that stream or are streaming would be listed here. Now, this is the first of the tutorial. This is all we're going to show today. So let's go ahead and log out of the game. We're going to click OK, and then we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and as always, please like, subscribe, leave comments at the bottom if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I look forward to playing with you in the future, and have a good day.